Welcome to News Analysis with Nationalist Hub. Everyone wants to be the Prime Minister. Mamata Banerjee wants to be the Prime Minister of India. Arvind Kejriwal wants to become one too. KCR has already stitched his sherwani for the swearing-in ceremony. Stalin has not given up either. Why? Even Sitaram Yechuri has thrown in his hat into the ring. Mayawati still thinks she can make it. Of course, Rahul Gandhi is the eternal PM candidate in the waiting. Unless you have forgotten the latest aspirant, Nitish Kumar. If there's one thing that Narendra Modi is not short of, it is the number of aspirants who want to make it to 7 Lok Kalyan mark. But let's dig a deeper here. What do these leaders want to do in replacing Narendra Modi? Each one of them has their own reason, and most of it is personal. Let's take Mamata Banerjee. She has plenty of reasons to be upset with Narendra Modi ji and BJP. Starting with the Sharada chit fund scam to her nephew and heir apparent Abhishek Banerjee, who has minted millions in illegal deeds. In between, many of her cabinet ministers, senior party functionaries have made tons of money, hoarded enough gold and diamonds that could see their family being fed for the next 100 generations. To understand the TMC scams better, let's go back a bit into history. In May 2014, the Supreme Court of India directed the Central Bureau of Investigation to investigate the Sharada chit fund scam that duped millions of depositors spread across states spanning from Odisha to Jharkhand to Assam and even Tripura. Sharada sank in April 2013 and its chairman Sudipta Sen and director Debjani Mukherjee were arrested from Jammu and Kashmir. The most important person to face the heat in the Sharada crime was Madan Mitra, Sports and Transport Minister then, and a confidant of Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee. He was arrested on 12th of December 2014. He eventually got bail on 10th of September 2016 after spending 21 months behind the bars. Other party functionaries to be jailed were Rajya Sabha MP Srinjoy Bose, Vice President Rajat Majumdar. High-profile leaders who were subjected to grilling included Party Number 2 Mukul Roy. After the grilling on January 31st, 2015, Roy's relations with Mamata Banerjee suffered. The second wave of CBI probe was into the chit fund scam again, this time Rose Valley Group, and it also cost Mamata Banerjee's party dear. The party's leader in the Lok Sabha, Sudeep Bandyopadhyay, was arrested on January 4th that year, and fellow Tapas Paul was arrested on December 30th that year. Both are behind bars at that point in time but got out soon. CBI also arrested Basudev Bagchi and Avik Bagchi, father and the son duo of the Prayag group, who are behind a film city on a 12,500 acre in Chandrakona in West Midnapur district of West Bengal. While Sharada sunk about 2,500 crores, Rose Valley involved about 17,000 crores or 6 times of the money that was involving with Sharada. Another major controversy that hit the Mamata Banerjee government was the collapse of the under-construction Vivekananda Road Flyover in North Calcutta that killed 27 people on March 31st, 2016. It was alleged that Trinamool leaders of the area supplied substandard building materials that were used in the construction. Kolkata police investigated the case and filed the charge sheet in end June 2016, in which 10 engineers and officials of the construction firm IVRCL were charged with criminal sections under IPC 304 and IPC 308. The latest scam doing rounds in West Bengal, of course, is a School Service Commission recruitment scam, which involves the state's Industry and Commerce Minister Partha Chatterjee. The Enforcement Directorate seized cash and jewellery valued at Rs 21 crores from the house of Arpita Mukherjee, and it later went on to 50 crores. She was one of Chatterjee's close associates. Well, that finishes with Mamata Banerjee, but that's not all. We can even write a book on it. Next, let's look at Arvind Kejriwal. For him, scams never seem to stop, from one to another, from Satyendra Jain to Manish Sisodia. Let's take the case of Satyendra Jain, the Delhi minister who is still in jail and has not been stripped of his ministership. He and other individuals were named in the prosecution complaint filed by the Enforcement Directorate involving money laundering. In addition to 4 private companies, Satyendra Jain and his wife Poonam Jain, Vaibhav Jain, Ankush Jain, Ajit Prasad Jain and Sunil Jain, all relatives, were also mentioned as suspects in the Enforcement Directorate prosecution complaint. Sections of the Money Laundering Act are allegedly violated by the accused in the prosecution case, announced. On 6th of June, the Enforcement Directorate announced that during a day-long raid at several locations throughout Delhi and the National Capital Region, it had arrested Jain's assistants and taken out 2.85 crore rupees and 133 gold coins totaling to 1.80 kilos. During these raids, the agency also confiscated a number of digital records and suspicious documents. The remaining portable assets, according to the Enforcement Directorate, were all discovered to be stashed at a search premises and were taken from unexplained sources. Next comes the school scam that comes under Manish Sisodia. The Delhi government had increased the budget for the constructions of classrooms in the existing schools, ignoring the guidelines of the Central Public Works Department. A Central Vigilance Commission report sent to the Delhi government Vigilance Department in 2020 alleges that the construction cost was increased by rupees 326 crores. Here are the basics for you. Our government promised to construct 500 new schools in Delhi. That never happened, of course. Then they said they will build more classrooms in the existing schools. The number of rooms increased from 2,400 to 7,180. The construction cost was increased up to 90%. If there had been a change in tender, it should be brought to the public domain as the rule says, but Kejriwal does not do this. This report also says, as per the increased cost, there has to be 6,133 classrooms, but the number of classrooms actually built were just 4,027. Now 33% has just disappeared. There was a budget for every classroom. This too was increased to an irregular manner by ignoring the CPWD manual. There is more. The latest is the liquor scam. And here again we have Mr. Handsome, Manish Sisodia, who is involved. He changed the liquor policy 4 times in 6 years, and at each flip-flop, millions changed hands. The investigation in that case is still on. A lot more details will emerge as the weeks go by. Of course, how can one miss out Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao, another aspirant for the Prime Ministerial chair. He used to frequent Delhi often in the past, drape a shawl around PM Narendra Modi, present a memento, and then used to present him a list of demands. Modi ji used to tick off a few, and KCR used to come back to Hyderabad smiling. That was till Telangana started constructing huge projects and borrowed money like crazy. Kaleshwaram was one of them. Then there were allegations that land use was being changed to favor a few builders, all for a consideration. Raids and investigation by the Enforcement Directorate is going on as we speak. The Reserve Bank of India raised red flags and warned the Telangana government that it was caught in a severe debt trap. KCR and his son KTR started demanding more money from the central government, which was now careful not to bankroll another Sri Lanka in the making. KCR has no option but to increase excise duties on liquor, hike charges on registration of land and automobiles. But servicing debt and interest was spiraling out of control. KCR and KTR started increasing the level of abuse against Prime Minister Modi, his ministers and the NDA government. The arrival of Prashant Kishore has only increased the level of hate against PM Modi, and KCR soon started hallucinating that he would be the Prime Minister of India soon and there would be BJP Mukt Bharat. There was someone called Chandrababu Naidu who dreamt of something similar before the 2019 Lok Sabha elections. He and his party disappeared after the results were declared. Then there are more aspirants, from Sharad Pawar to Rahul Gandhi to Nitish Kumar. They also have enough reasons to replace Modi ji. Inner skeletons in their cupboards are naturally making them nervous. I will speak more about their grandiose dreams in my next episode of News Analysis on Nationalist Hub. Keep watching. Jai Hind.
Please subscribe to Nationalist Hub English channel for more interesting videos, and don't forget to like and share this video. Nationalist Hub, it's a news revolution.